Thank you. How you doing today, Christian? I rarely starve. I tend to die through stupidity. See if I can find somewhere I can set my phone where I can see it. Nice, nice. This will work for now. These things happen. I should probably start the stream after I actually make it into the server. 5 minutes of stream where it's just launching server is probably boring for everyone. Hell, it's boring for me. I just alt tab. So yesterday on DST, we chopped a bunch of wood, didn't starve, didn't burn up the entire freaking server during the summer, and did some cave spelunking. Good times, good times. Today, we're probably going to end up chopping more wood. I don't know, we might not make it that far in today thinking about it. We're rolling into our second autumn in about 10-ish minutes probably, and that's when Bearger will spawn at some point in autumn, usually with about 4 days left in your second autumn, I believe. And Bearger is our migrant workforce. He's going to come in and we're going to get him to go beat up a bunch of monsters and chop down a bunch of trees. And that's going to be fun. While we're working on that, though, and while we're waiting for him to actually spawn, we've got some building to do. The last thing we did yesterday, right before the stream closed out, was explore some caves territory and find a bunch of bunny hutches and tear them down with a hammer. The reason we did that is we're bringing them back to the surface to build a bunny farm. Bunny farms are great. It functions somewhat similar to a pig farm, or, having pigs around. Yeah, here we go. And we're not going to let the meteors fall on us. Anyway, it functions somewhat similar to a pig farm in that you can use it to help you do things, but I don't think bunnies will chop trees. Instead, we're going to use them to kill things. The biggest difference between the two is A, the way they fight, and B, their spawn times. You'll find that there's really two methods of attack for mobs in Don't Starve Together. One is the kiting method, which is what pigs use, mermen use, Mactusk uses, and a few other things. And that's where... Oh, hey, Chester. They will hit something and then move away. Attack, move, attack, move, attack, move. Oh, that's the wormhole I need. Other things have a much more direct combat method. They will stand in one place and just swing for the fences. Pigmen use kiting, bunnymen use stand and attack. Spiders use stand and attack. Merpeople use kiting. Most enemies use stand and attack. I need to cook some food before I starve. Let's see, we got a little bit of meat left. Well, that was an expensive set of meatballs. I knew I had some of those in here. So we're here to make ourselves a lantern. That's why I wanted the rope. Lanterns are nice. With a lantern, you never need a torch again. Let's see. I'm surprised those flower petals didn't rot already. And our eggs just rotted. Sadly. There we go. Anyway, the other thing that's different about Bunnymen is they respawn every day. They are much faster than pigs, who only respawn every, I believe, 3 days. And as a result, they're better for fighting. Bunny hutch. Alright, I'll need all the carrots that I found underground. Here we go. 4 boards, 10 carrots, 4 rabbit tails. We don't want to plant them directly on the house because every time I walk around, they'll just pop up and try to eat me if I'm carrying any meat on me, including crockpot recipes that use meat, like meatballs. So that's super frustrating, and we don't want we don't want that. Instead, we're going to put them up there with where we planted the spiders and all the walruses, so that we can get some more value out of that area. And this winter, that's just going to straight up be a slaughter fest of fighting, where we can go up there and loot all of the drops while everything's dead. Let's do this. More importantly than that, though, we want the spiders and the bunnymen fighting, so that we can farm free silk and things of that nature. So we got to make sure that we don't put them too close to the... there we go. Mac Tusk huts because we don't want them to spawn or to get broken when the Mac Tusk huts spawn. And I think that one probably would. Yep, first day autumn. That's enough on this side. Let's go get some up here. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Probably gonna have to kill that spider. We'll actually be able to watch in real time, and this is the last bunny hut. I need one more bunny tail to be able to make another one. We'll actually be able to see in real time when evening comes around how that works out. Cacti no longer have flowers on them. Sad. Antlion, and you see the antlion despawn, I didn't even have a trouble out of it. It's just not that big a deal. I bet my bird died, didn't it? In my bird cage. I've neglected it so long. Yeah. Unfortunate. These things happen, though. Turn off my flingos now. Things will no longer just randomly catch fire, thankfully. Looks like we need rock pretty bad. I'd like to find 2 more marble too. Don't need that. Leave that here for now. Don't need all of that. Chester, come here. I should make myself an umbrella just so I can keep from getting too wet. I think I need a rope for that. Nope, just spider salt. And we're no longer wet. Great. So I'm going to refuel the Flingo. And then turn it back off. I needed all those berries so I can get manure. Yep, you can see all my trees over here burnt down. Sadly. Which means I need more pine cones. But I'm not going to worry about that for now. Now, I don't know if it burnt down because it was summer or if it burnt down because a tumbleweed rolled through a magma pit and got set on fire. Could go either way. Oh, while we're at it, let's walk over here and see what's going on with our bunny farm. Double check to make sure I don't have any meat. Oh, even better, it's a tier 2 nest now, too. And unlike pigs, bunnies never eat meat that's left on the ground. So I've been talking quite a bit about why a lantern is important for fighting in caves. This is why. And now I have a free hand to do whatever I need to do with. So we're going to wait for our bunnies to go inside and then pick up all the loot. Most of them probably didn't even take damage. And they'll all bounce back to their houses. And then we get all of this. But if I'd picked up the monster meat while they were out of their houses, then they would have attacked me for having meat on me. Alright, let's have a look. Got a couple of different things I want to do, actually. What's it take to make a saddle? Beefalo wool. Do I have enough beefalo wool? Or do I need to shave some beefalos? Oh, I can let this rot now and put my armor back on. Truly, you can never have enough cactuses. Cacti. And that fight that we just witnessed between the bunnymen and the spiders will happen every night. So that's silk and spider glands, which I'm only got 2 of. I'm a little surprised about that. Every night for free. I know that was kind of a waste because I was almost full, but at the same time, they were going to go bad. I'm making us a couple of fairly fresh meatballs to take with us. I'm expecting to be away from home for a couple of days because I'm going to go mine a rock. Oh, I also need to take these with me, those with me. Time to show off another neat trick you can do. So, actually, hold that thought. I have 200. Oh, I have 250 max sanity. Yeah, I got enough manure. And reeds. Make a couple of papyrus. And I need one more seed to get an applied horticulture. Oh. There. So I want a bunch of berries. We're going to pick all of our berry bushes. And use our applied horticulture. Okay, that was dumb of me, to be honest. Supposed to wait for evening to do this. That's alright. Got a plan for this. Charcoal. Board. Alright, you little fuckers. But that's why Wickerbottom, one of the reasons Wickerbottom is busted. I get 5 uses of that book per one I craft, which is fairly cheap. 8 reeds, 1 seed, and 2 manure. And with it, I can grow as many plants as I can fit on a string. See, and when the gobblers spawn now, they just pop back into their little holes. And I could do this as many times as I wanted until I run out of resources, which, honestly, I'm out of reeds right now. Note to self, grab a shovel and a pitchfork. I've got a mod on that lets me relocate reeds, but they can only be planted in swamp turf. So I will need to set up a cluster of swamp turf to put my reeds in. And we're definitely going to go get those while we're out, because I'm going to be in that general vicinity anyway. So yeah, 71 berry bushes is not a bad haul. Or 71 berries. Wait, no, I still need those. Shouldn't need the niter now. Won't need applied horticulture when I'm away from my home base. Might as well bring the manure with me because I'm going to go get more manure. Don't need the spider silk. We're going to take a few light bulbs with us to be able to refill our lantern. And we're headed out. So our next goal is to go feed these 4 monster meat to a pig. That will turn the pig into a werepig, who can then eat all 71 of those berries for us and produce 71 manure. I don't need the berries for food. That's not why I've got the berry bushes at the moment. I'll need them eventually, maybe. But cactuses will do an adequate job of keeping us fed for now. If I had more players with me, the berry bushes would be much more important for a food source. You know, it's easy to feed one person. That's one of the reasons I don't play Don't Starve solo very much, because it is easy to feed one person. It's easy to supply one person all the time. It's much more difficult to feed 4 people or 3 people. Ah, here we go. And then one more. Now all we gotta do is set the berries on the ground, and he'll eat them for us. If you try to do this with regular pigs, they'll only eat so many at a time before they begin to get full, and they won't take anymore. And so we're just going to sit here and let him eat all of those, and then kill him when he gets done. Pigs are very aggressive fighters. You got to be careful. Hound attack. Bad time for it, but it'll be all right. When he comes for the mushroom cap, we kill him. Unfortunately, I have to pick up every one of the manure by hand. Or do I? Actually, if I leave far enough away, those should all cluster into one thing. I was hoping that maybe I would be able to get inside the wormhole before the hound spawned. So we're about to be inside a swamp. And one of the things I want to do while I'm here is look for more tier 3 spider nests to tear down. I am wicker bottom, so I already know how to make pitchforks naturally. To be sane, right? Now I could go try to dig up the ones in the 100 green thing, but that would be absolute insanity. There's just too many tentacles over there. And I can't cluster plant these, but I want about 20 of them. 20 should be adequate for anything I'm likely to do. By now, this set piece down here has probably done a pretty good job of clearing out all the tentacles that are nearby. So I've got to be careful. There's likely to be a lot of mer people there who are, in a way, more dangerous than the tentacles because they chase. That happens when it turns evening. Fortunately, they don't chase very far. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the tentacles here. we're going to want a reliable supply of reeds because those are our books. And we'll be making a lot of books later on. Alright, so the other thing I need for this is turf. Using a pitchfork, you can relocate turf. And I need swamp turf. Typically go for a 4x4 cluster. Note that changing the turf does not change what exists there. So even if you pick up the turf around a tentacle, it'll still have a tentacle in it. Having trouble finding my lantern. There we go. Now I've got to be careful because there's a very strong chance that any tier 3 spider nest I find is going to turn into a spider queen. And while that's not a bad thing necessarily, it's not something I really want to deal with right now. Whole bunch of tiki torch pigs. Not looking for fights with them either. Ended up not even needing that whole shovel. This is another thing a lantern's used for, is mining at night. We're pretty well just going to clear mine most of this biome. Actually, I'm gonna stop picking up and just focus on chopping. We can pick at night with our lantern. Okay. Not sure what happened there. Keep forgetting what my plan, my game plan is, because I'm thinking about what I need to do next. There's just so much I want to do and only so much time. Which always seems to be the case in this game. One thing we need to do is try to get some living logs going so that we can get a shadow manipulator up. Shadow manipulator is very important because it allows us to craft the high tier books, specifically on tentacles. We've had bad luck so far. We've not spawned any tree guards, which are the primary source of living logs. But as we approach World Day 50, the odds of spawning tree guards increases fairly dramatically. Fortunately, we can spend this autumn doing a lot of resource collecting and building and things of that nature, because we're already prepared for the following winter. We already have a hat that will keep us warm and a thermal stone built, and our base set up for protection from cold. There's a few things I want to do to really cement that. Another mod I've got on is the Lux campfires, and so I can build a much better fire than the standard fire pit. We can in fact build a star, which is part of the reason I need so much rock. It takes a lot of cut stone to make one of the big fire pits, and I need 2 of them. Also need enough rock to start doing certain boss fight setups that require rock walls. Also useful would be getting some of my plants and things enclosed in rock walls so they won't catch fire from burning tumbleweeds. Fencing in my bunny farm might be a good idea. I know this isn't super interesting to watch, and I can understand if you're not, but it's part of the game. You know, collecting resources is a large part of the game. It's not all fighting monsters and running for our lives and running back and forth to the portal to respawn. Once you get past the point where you are in danger frequently, things really kind of settle down to a routine and don't starve together. I'm strong enough right now that no regular threat can really bother me. The only things that can are the really strong bosses and things like that, and they're very predictable when they're going to show up. Like, I don't have to worry about Deerclops until this winter, for example. You might be wondering, how much rock does he need? Well, the answer to that might surprise you. Several hundred, when it's all said and done. Now, even while it's on the ground, the lantern will continue to burn its fuel supply. So just because I'm not holding it doesn't mean it's not going down. That's why there's a turn off option. We're slowly going crazy, which is a good thing. I'm definitely ready to be crazy and start farming nightmare fuel. Unfortunately, there's no cheese method really for fighting shadow creatures. You pretty well just have to get good. Where are we at vis-a-vis the rock supply? 150. Yikes. So how long are we going to send out here in the wilds, cutting down rocks? The answer is until we run out of food. It'll take about 30 hunger to walk back home. Unfortunately, the light bulbs we brought with us are about to go bad. Alright, and with that, I think we're going to head out. I don't really want to make another pickaxe. We'll go ahead and use this one and break it. This isn't going to be enough rock, but it'll be enough rock for now. Kind of follow this koalefant track because I'm hoping actually to spawn not a koalefant. I would like to spawn one of the rare alternate hunts. The Varg or the Yukos, either one would be fine. I don't intend to fight them, but spawning them, they'll stay up forever, and I can come back and fight them later. Should probably check and see what direction that's pointing. You can tell which direction it's pointing by the toes. The toe marks point in the general direction of the next track. They can be kind of hard to see in the dark. Here we go. There it is. This should be just about it. Yeah. Alright, so we're going to move carefully. And just a Koalefant. I'm actually going to go ahead and kill it because I kind of need the meat. So Koalefants fight just like Beefalo, except they hit a little harder. 5 hits and run. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. And there we go. 8 large meats and 1 Koalefant trunk. The Koalefant trunk can be used to eat, which I don't know, I might do, or to craft a puffy jacket, a very effective insulation item. And of course it goes without saying, trying to follow Koalefant tracks in the dark is just a futile effort. I'm crazy enough to be attacked by shadow monsters and about to starve. Fortunately, there's a campfire right over here. I should really take a hammer and tear those down with the big spikes, but that'll be okay. End up seeing, oh boy, why you don't bring Chester with you into the swamp. Hopefully he gets out of here alive. That'll do. Chester, just be safe right here, buddy. So yeah, 2 or 3 spider nests. And now we run, and eventually they'll stop chasing and get distracted by other things. And then we'll come up here and pick up all the loot. Oh, get off my dick. Looking around for more spider nests while I'm in the area. Did I already open this? Yeah. I could tear it down for the boards if I really wanted to, but I don't, so I won't. Did you see how many tentacles just started to rise up out of the ground there? Tier 2 nest. That's actually really unusual. Another tier 2 nest. Makes me wonder if they didn't turn into spider queens and they're just around here somewhere. Alright, let's head home. One more spider XX, pretty decent. I see a terrapin. Oh, I ran too far. What can I leave behind? I just really don't have any other use for spider glands other than just eating them to restore some HP. Great. Let's time that dodge. Okay, not quite crazy enough for him to attack me yet. Got to be careful when I go through this wormhole. I'll come out next to my bunny man farm, and they will be pretty unhappy with all this meat I'm carrying. Oh, ran past my wormhole. Seeds and needle. Oh wait, I forgot the original reason I came over here, which was to pick up a whole bunch of manure. Pretty much just eating anything we can to stay alive. Now the sinkholes there will heal up eventually. It just takes a long time. Nope, you're gonna have to grab them each individually. Oh well. Now we're headed back to the house. All this nightmare fuel. It'll be useful soon. Silly bats. So that tumbleweed had a live spider in it. That's fun. Also fun, that spider doesn't actually have a home, so he'll just follow me. If I get out of aggro range, he'll quit following me, but yeah, I was gonna say, he'll just aggro on the Chester, probably. She told it to behave. That's funny. Oh boy, more shadow creatures. And the lag got me hit. Oh, I can't dodge properly right now. And then to place down new turf, you just go somewhere where there's no turf and place it. Ugh. It's very finicky sometimes. Now, obviously, I want to try to place it somewhere where it's in range of my Ice Fling-O-Matic. So they're mostly going to be on this side. And just like berry bushes and grass, they will need to be fertilized. So let's go grab the rut. The savanna turf and the remaining marsh turf that we have can be used as a fire source. The manure will be used to build advanced farms now that we have plenty of rock. Alright, so phone's telling me that it's been an hour. That is our designated Don't Starve Together time of the stream. We'll be getting into some Death Road to Canada again, because that was really fun last night. And everybody seemed to be having a good time. Most likely tomorrow we'll go back to unlocking FTL. And maybe sometime this weekend we'll try to finish up unlocking unlocking the trader class in Rogue Legacy. There. And now when I read my book, all of those plants will grow. All in all, while not a very interesting day, a very productive day. Gonna have to have another large chest soon. Alright, and that's gonna be it for Don't Starve Together, folks. Be right back in a few minutes.